Hi everybody, I'm Rod Klimek, head coach at Battleborg. You know what I love more than anything? Mugs with hearts on them. It's my thing. So today we're going to be building a 1,000 pound rated, I think it's going to be more than that, flat bench for doing bench presses here. I tried to order a certain bench from a certain company, which I will not name, Titan Fitness, and they always seem to be out of stock for like a year. It comes in and then I miss the boat, and then, anyway, we're going to build one today, and I'm going to show you how you can build one for pretty cheap. I would say about $100. You can build a bench that you can say that you built, and it's going to take the weight. See the bench over here that we have, that's a great bench, but for one, it's 600 pound rated, and I'm about 240 and benching 350. So I'm pushing the limits of that bench. So here we go. Okay, so what we got here is a piece of 3/4 plywood that I cut myself like a man with a circular saw from plywood that I bought and brought home in my pickup truck. Just saying, if you're one of those people at the panel saw at Home Depot who need all your custom cuts. Can I have this 42 and 3/16 inch, please? If you're that person, we don't have any business together. Okay, so this is 12 inches wide. This is 48 inches long. And this is 3/4 BC plywood, which means it's going to be sanded on one side. And if you want to save yourself some money, you can go with CDX. It doesn't much matter because we're going to be covering up this with foam and with the upholstery, which is going to be super sweet. And we're starting with 4x4 is your basic 4x4. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this. First step, we're going to make 2 of these that are 17 inches long. I'm going to put a bevel on these, 15-degree bevel. You don't have to. This is just for fun. So 17 inches, that's our first thing. So this is 1 foot. We already cut the other one and sanded it. You just want to take the belt sander. Unless you're using a big 12-inch chop saw, you're not going to get through with one cut, so you may have a little unevenness there, and you want to round these edges a little bit. So just take the belt sander. Okay, so next what we did was we took our piece that's going to be our top, hush your mush, and then we're just going to cut along the side. See my pencil? It's like a laser. It's magically happening, magically guiding those scissors. And this is just carpet padding. You can get a roll of this for 20 bucks at Home Depot. I think we're going to layer it 3 deep for the right amount of cushion. Might go 4, but I'll let you know when we come back to that. Okay, so on further examination, we decided that we're going to go with 4 layers of this carpet padding, and the actual equation is 2 1/4 inches, this whole piece. You're going to need that so you can figure out your leg measurement, but I'm going to go with 2 inches because you are going to get a little bit of mush once you get that weight up on you. So we're going to take 2 inches off of our leg height because we want our whole height to be 17. That's next. So now, since we did all of our math, we know that we need 2 8-inch blocks. So this is what we've got so far. You've got your 2 17-inch wide feet, 2 8-inch blocks. This is where you should be at right now. Your 3/4 inch plywood and your 4 layers of foam. And now we've got some hardware applications. We're recording? Okay. So we flip this whole dang thing upside down. Find your center mark, square it over, find your center mark of your 4x4, but be careful because sometimes they're not exactly 3.5. You would think they would be 4x4, but they're not that. They're 3.5 by 3.5 generally. This particular board is 3 5/8, so you want to make sure you accommodate for that. Then you're going to do a second take filming, drilling the hole in the middle and trying not to get your drill bit stuck. We got a 1/4 inch hole. We're just going to roll that in. Look how much easier it goes in once you've already drilled the hole. Magic of movies. That's that. And then we are going to switch this over real quick into a spade bit. This one's 1 1/4 because we are going to put a lag in here and a washer, and we want that to sink in. So then you're just going to take this, stick it in the hole, man, and just do a little bit of this. Just so that washer and the head of the bolt can sit flush. rinse, repeat with the other side. We got a 6-inch lag and a big old washer. We line up our lines. Drive that puppy home. Okay, so now you've got these with your lag in the bottom. You see why we needed to recess that so that there's nothing sticking out? Then what you need to do, you need to get yourself some of these Maud Dickers. I don't even know what they're called, but they're amazing. Lay this piece of crap down like this. Make sure this is tight. And sometimes you can find if the 4x4 is a little swollen, things are a little snug. Give that a little tap and tap. Take your impact gun and start filling these holes. Just like that. I'll put one more in and then you can cut because this is going to be boring for everyone. Okay, so we've got these babies all secured up. That ain't going anywhere. And then you have a 4x4 to 4x4 bracket. We're going to put that on the top, and our cross member is going to go here. Now what I did with these is I drilled out a little hole in the middle, and you're going to see where that comes into play in a little bit. This is I think it's a 5/8 hole, and we're going to be doing a 1/4 inch hole through the middle of that, but you'll see that. So you just take this, make sure you put it on the right way, and make sure these sides are flush, because once you attach this baby, it ain't going anywhere. So now we've got our top brackets attached. You'll notice on this front one, we turned that bracket the other way so that we're free to put our feet anywhere that we want, up and down, without having that cross member get in the way. Now we've got this 4x4 that we just cut at 48 inches. And we're going to slide this right in between these brackets here. And then we're going to measure in, I don't have a tape measure on me. What kind of carpenter am I? I found one, don't worry about it everyone. We're going to have a 2 inches overlay. So this chunk is going to go under that whole piece of plywood. We're not going to have any overlay, just plywood just chilling anywhere. Then on to the next step. Are you recording? Are you recording? Okay. Next step. Got this long ass drill bit, 1/4 inch, because we're going to do what we did with the lags on the bottom, down into the top. That's why we drilled those holes in the brackets. Remember that from 45 seconds ago? In reality, it was like 2 hours ago. So we got our center mark here on this 4x4 and centered this way. And the idea, my kid's screaming in the house over there. Hopefully this is going to go right in that big 5/8 hole that we put there. So let's find out. Try to keep it straight up and down. This pressure treated will bog down your drill bit, so pull it up and let those chips come out. Ah, we got it. Yeah. Right in the middle. Sweet. Now we're going to do that with the other side, hopefully with the same degree of success. We had some success, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a spade bit. And just give that a little. We're going to drop the spade bit on the ground. That's part of that is a critical part, is that your spade bit should come flying out of your gun. So make sure you just go deep enough to get the washer in and the head of that lag. And just give it a little feel. Just feel it. You'll be able to tell by the feel. It's all about having finger skills. What's wrong with me? It's getting late. Okay, we're going to switch to the impact gun and put those lags in. All right, we got our lags. Always make sure you put your washers on too. Thusly and such. Impact gun is way better. You can use a drill if you feel like being here all day and go through 4 batteries. some tusks out right there. Now we got to go in a little more. And then you got to get that stuff on there, because that's part of it. And then beat it with your drill. All right, so then that, we're going to do the same thing over here. You want to make sure that that goes down, because you don't want any bumps when you get that plywood on there, which is going to be our next phase of this operation, and we are getting closer and closer to using it. So we made a boo-boo. We didn't think about the upholstery, which happens sometimes. So what we had to do was take an inch off of the 4x4 on each side so that we could wrap the upholstery. We didn't think about that part. But we made the cuts. You see we put a center line. Can you see that? Put a center line on our 4x4 and a center line on our plywood. We just line those up. Then we measured under here, and we're at 15/16 on both sides. So we're just going to tack it. With this nasty bit. My wife must have been using this bit. She has a habit of chewing them up. Because she likes to amuse me. Alright, we'll do the other side. Center it up. And then we got more to do. Okay, so we screwed off the top. It's centered. This thing's not going anywhere. Okay, you probably put a truck on this right now, but in case it's not a tray for a truck, we've got more metal. And flip this thing over. Oh my gosh, I'm getting my workout just moving this thing. Don't worry, we got an answer for that too. So, what we have here is L brackets. You can lay them out in any old fashion that you like. I'm just going to take some number. I'll probably put, I don't know, every 10 inches or so along this thing. And we're going to screw them in with 3/4 inch screws so you don't go through the surface of the plywood. And we'll probably use maybe 2-inch screws going into this 4x4. Stay tuned, there's more metal. Okay, so this is the underside, what it looks like now. You've got your 4x4s, your brackets, your L brackets along the side, and your 4x4 brackets, your big maw dickers, as I call them. And now we are ready to paint the bottom, and then there's even more metal. Oh yeah. Okay, we've got the bench painted. Take a look at that, the bottom, classic black. If you wanted a more industrial look, pardon the noise of the fan, we got the fan going to help dry this off quicker. If you want to go with an industrial type of look, you might actually consider painting all this stuff first, once you've cut the pieces, and then putting the brackets on, leaving them silver. That could be a cool look. That's not what we decided to do. So the more metal I was just talking about, in the middle, the weakest part of all of this is that 4x4 span in the middle. I chose a 4x4 with very, very few knots. Hard to find, but I did find one. Very straight, no knots. Knots are what create the weak point where it would actually collapse. So what we're going to do, even though that's not the case with that 4x4, and I'm confident that that is a 1,000-pound or more bench right now, I got this little metal tubing, costs you about 14 bucks, and we cut it to the length in between, which on our bench is 31 inches. And I'm going to drill this out, put holes in it all along the way, not all along the way, probably four screws for the whole thing. And that will be screwed to the bottom of that 4x4. So there's no chance that 4x4 is ever going to snap. I could probably park my truck on that pretty securely when we're done. So let's drill out the holes, and then I'll see you in a minute. So now the paint's still not dry, so we're not going to put that bar in yet. But we do have these. See, I already got paint all over them. See that? It's real good. Okay, so we're going to put these on here. Put the metal. What is they got? Thriller going on in there? So that's going to go like that. You don't want to go over the edge there. But you want it just so when you tip it up, you're going to be able to use those casters to move this heavy ass bench all around your home gymnasium. Alright, so for our last bit of metal, I'm not one who likes to wait for paint to dry, which is why it's always all over me. We're just going to take these. We're using 3-inch exterior screws. Putting them right through those holes we drilled. Okay, so this paint is taking a long time to dry, and we're not going to run the risk of upholstering it with wet paint because we don't want paint all over our sassy red vinyl. So we are going to turn it in for the night, let this thing dry. We're basically done building the bench. The only thing left is to upholster it with sassy red vinyl, which we will be doing tomorrow morning. Okay, we're back, and the paint has dried, and we're going to start to work on upholstering it. See that? So we're going to put those 3 layers of fabric on. The top one is a little longer and a little wider, so that just wraps around the edges when you pull the fabric on. But this isn't really my department, so I'm going to cut now and then go back to these fine ladies doing what they do.
So right now we're cutting the vinyl that we're going to put over the top of the bench. We're going to cut it a little bit wider than what we need so that we can fold it over before we staple it wherever we can to give it some extra strength. And so we're making the cut right now. We're going to stretch it over the 3 pieces of the carpet padding so that it's got a little bit of cushion, but not too much. And still be the height that we're looking for. And there we go.
And we can stretch it over on this side.
My goodness, somebody's in a crabby mood. Now why are you folding it over?
Just to give it some strength where the staple's going in. So we're going through 2 layers of the vinyl instead of just one where it could potentially rip off.
Yeah.
It's fine. So for the other side, we're going to just make sure that we pull it nice and tight.
Did you want me to step on all those screws?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Because I did.
step 1. So we're going to pull it nice and tight over the padding. Again, we're folding it over on this side for the string. Hold that. There you go.
Now we're flipping the bench after we did both sides. And why are we doing that?
We're just checking it. Just checking it to make sure that it's nice and straight, and then when we fold over the ends,
That is a sassy red.
it is a sassy red.
Is it tight enough though?
Do you think not?
You gotta go
I think
tighter.
we just need some staples over here.
Yeah, and I think we can pull it tighter on the ends too. Which,
Looks good.
yeah, I think it looks fantastic.
Tight across there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're good. That's right on that.
That's 1 inch. Are we we recording now?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So here we have our completed bench. You can now look at the bench. All right. Now let's, because we have these handy dandy casters on it, let's wheel it around into the rack. And we're going to set up and test it out. Okay. Did some warming up, and now we're going to go for 275 on our custom bench. Go. Pretty solid. That's not too terrible. That is exciting. Okay, 300. Go. Nice and solid. Okay, and here we are, 240 and 315 on our homemade bench. Go. Whew. Take it. Oh, a little slow tonight. Anyway, there's your 315 from a 240 guy on our bench. Take one more look at the bench. That there is a bench that you can make, be proud of. About 90 bucks total. Any color you want, do anything you want with it. Now you know how to build one yourself. And okay. Yep. Hildy, Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday. Okay. I love you too. So, there you have it, folks. 1,000 pound or more bench to be determined. 90 bucks. Build it yourself. Make sure you like this video because it's awesome. Make sure you subscribe to our channel because it's awesome. Battleboar_coaching on Instagram, and like our page Battleboar on Facebook. Whatever you do, wherever you are, whoever you are, how tall you are doesn't even matter. You get your tusks out, baby. Battleboar.